If they master the end game, no one will touch this game. I am excited to try this game, guys. Delirium. There goes my CPU. I love this. It's like Dune / Mad Max.
Hi, I'm Jonathan Rogers, Game Director on Path of Exile 2. In this live stream, we're going to be introducing everything you can expect. Let's roll the gameplay trailer. Traverse the barren plain and
Oh no. I was really pissed off. I thought it was me. I was going to go find out who's turning off my internet in my house.
Now, if you like a style of melee that's a little slower but hits much harder, then the warrior is for you.
Yes.
He pounds the ground with big chunky attacks and can shrug off the hits of small enemies with large amounts of armor. If you want to go a little faster and be a little more defensive, equip a shield. In PoE 2, you can raise your shield at any time to block all damage from the front,
Nice.
even spells. Some enemies also have unblockable attacks, which are indicated by this red flash. If you see one of these coming, make sure to dodge out of the way. I can take a slam like Sunder and socket it into my Ancestral Warrior totem. Now when I summon him, he'll sit there and slam the monsters from a distance.
Oh, good.
There are 20 active skills for maces, so there's a lot more to try out. But by endgame, you're going to be dropping hammers from the sky, leaping fearlessly into combat, and separating the very earth you stand on. You can also stick lightning arrows in the ground which explode when hit by the bouncers, or electrocute enemies to take them out of combat.
Wow.
Using poison, not only can you slowly damage your enemies from afar, but also grow some interesting plants.
Wow.
With 21 bow skills and all the mobility and combo tools the ranger has, you can take advantage of every situation. By endgame, you'll be creating hundreds of arrows, be they falling from the sky, bouncing around between enemies, or spraying out of tornadoes. It's very fast to switch between ammo types, so long as you already have them loaded, which makes the mercenary able to combo abilities together for devastating effect.
Nice.
Use Glacial Bolt to create walls of ice to separate enemies, then switch to Fragmentation rounds to explode the ice, dealing massive AoE damage. If I come across an armored enemy, I could use armor-piercing rounds to break their armor, and then high-velocity rounds to take them down.
Wow.
Or perhaps I could fire a gas grenade to poison enemies before detonating the cloud with an explosive shot for massive damage. If you want to call in some suppressing fire, you can summon artillery ballistas. These have a minimum range, so you'll want to prepare your position carefully before moving in. There are 22 active skills for crossbows. By endgame, you'll be calling destruction down from the sky as you litter the battlefield with grenades and pepper your enemies with your automatic shotgun.
Still can't see what's going on.
If you're looking to take a back seat and let your minions do the work, then the witch should be your choice. She can call forth hordes of undead monsters to fight for her, while casting powerful chaos spells that debilitate her enemies. These minions will be revived automatically when they die, so you don't have to worry about resummoning them all the time.
Nice.
Here, I'm using the skill screen to allocate which minions I would like in my horde. You can see the spirit cost of each one. Skeletal warriors are cheap, but weak.
Oh, nice and easy.
For tanking damage and distracting enemies. But I want more heavy hitters in my army, so I'm going to unsummon some warriors and instead add skeletal arsonists. Permanent minions come with special active abilities called command skills. You can order these guys to detonate your own minions for even more damage and area of effect.
Wow.
There are 25 active occult skills. By the endgame, you'll be the leader of a fearsome army of the dead, consuming everything in its path. You'll be firing off projectiles left and right as you rain down elemental storms on your foe.
Don't worry, guys. It's still like PoE 1 with the screen.
Those are the characters that will be available at the start of early access. So, speaking of builds, let's talk about one of the most iconic Path of Exile systems, the passive skill tree. Yes, it's huge. There are over 1,500 nodes on there. Now, a lot of people open the tree and can get a little intimidated at first, but try not to be scared. But if you do happen to make a choice you regret, you'll be able to respec any nodes you've taken by spending a little bit of gold.
Good.
One of the new features in Path of Exile 2's passive tree is that you can choose to have your passive tree change as you switch between weapon sets to take advantage of specific bonuses.
Yeah, this is going to be interesting.
For the sorceress, you might want to change between fire and lightning specialization. Or perhaps you could have a full curse setup on your witch to debuff enemies before switching to a chaos degen build for maximum damage.
We'll see. Looks complex to do
If
that,
you want
but
to stick
it'll
with
be
just
okay.
one weapon set, you can just use these specialization points as bonus points to invest however you like. There are lots of other permanent boosts available from the campaign too. On the map, you can see icons that indicate the many optional encounters you can find.
Wow.
Some of them have permanent character boosts, and others have powerful items.
Nice.
If you're having trouble getting past a boss, it might be a good idea to explore and see what you can find.
Yep.
For example, if you defeat Blackjaw the Remnant, you'll gain a permanent increase to fire resistance.
Wow.
So make sure you hunt down these upgrades.
Rituals
There's
in.
one in each act. An Orb of Transmutation will allow you to upgrade a normal item to a magic item with one mod. You can then apply an Orb of Augmentation.
Yes,
to add
the
a second
currency's
mod.
there.
Gold can be used to buy items from vendors, and we've tried to do a lot to make sure that the items they have for sale are actually useful.
Good.
Every time you level up, they get more stock.
Nice
so make sure you
environment.
check back often. Other vendors offer a gamble. Pay a flat amount of gold and you'll get a random item of a specific type. Gold is also
Good.
used to respec your passive skills. Take advantage of this system to experiment with your tree and rework it as required.
Great.
Uniques. They are especially rare, each with a handcrafted set of unusual
Good.
mods which can dramatically change a character's build. The Sands of Silk is a body armor that changes your dodge roll into a blink, morphing you into
Nice.
sand as you teleport past your foes.
Wow.
And of course, some uniques are just pure hits of dopamine, like Quill Rain, which just turns
Yeah.
your bow attacks into full auto by doubling your attack speed. But at the start of early access, only 2 per class will be available.
Oh.
Ascendancy classes are unique to each character class, so choose wisely. They can drastically affect how you build your character.
Damn, they should have had all 3 at early access.
You could become a chronomancer and command time itself.
Wow.
She literally has the ability to stop time with time freeze.
That's awesome.
On the warrior, you can choose between
Yes.
the Warbringer or the Titan.
I think I'm going to be warrior, guys.
The Titan class is all about hitting big.
Yes.
With Earthbreaker, every
That's what I'm
slam
gonna
has a
be.
chance to create an aftershock. You can take advantage of stunned enemies to deal 40% more damage. The Witch can ascend into the Infernalist or the Blood Mage. As an Infernalist, she can summon a loyal Hellhound companion. The
Nice.
Hellhound sets enemies on fire, as well as taking a percentage of the damage if the Infernalist gets hit. With Pyromantic Pact, you can turn your mana into Infernal Flame. As
Wow.
you cast more spells, the flame builds up, and if it overflows, you'll take damage. All blood mages must pay the price of making skills cost life as well as mana, but in exchange, every monster they kill will drop life.
They really invested into this
which allow
build.
them to quickly gain back that life. A monk who is in tune with the elements might become an invoker. With elemental expression, the invoker will create waves of elemental power each time he does a critical strike.
That's cool.
With faith as a choice, you gain the ability to meditate, allowing you to double your energy shield.
Wow.
Choose between I am the blizzard or I am the thunder to specialize in cold or lightning. And I shall rage will allow you to turn into an unbound avatar.
What?
Each time you apply a status ailment to an enemy, you gain unbound fury. When you have enough, transform into an avatar to deal way more damage and inflict even more elemental ailments.
This is also cool.
The mercenary has a job to do, but which
Yeah,
job
let's see
fits you?
this.
You might choose to become a witch hunter. With Zealous Inquisition, your enemies have a 10% chance to explode on death. The chance
Nice.
is doubled against demons and undead. With Judge, Jury, and Executioner,
I also like
your
this
initial hit
class.
against enemies can deal up to 30% of their life and damage, if you're lucky. All aspirants must complete the Trial of the Sekimers,
Oh,
a
gosh.
grueling gauntlet that will test their strength, will, cunning, and patience.
It's going to be a nightmare.
If you run out of honor, you will fail the trial and need to find another coin in order to try again.
God.
Entering this room will afflict you with spiked shell that will cause all monsters in the rest of
Yeah,
the trial
Sanctum, yeah.
50. At the end of the floor, you'll find a powerful boss which will truly test your limitations.
Wow.
In order to ascend, you will need to defeat him.
1% of people will defeat him. Oh, there will be a sense of achievement in this game.
For now, let's talk about the second Ascendancy trial, the Trial of Chaos.
That was just
In
the
Path of
first?
Exile 2, you can choose whichever
Oh,
trial
no.
you like to earn your ascension. Many have attempted these trials in search of greatness. Most have perished.
Indiana
Will
Jones
you be able to
style.
defy the odds? In this case, you must destroy all the monsters that fill the room, while dealing with the lightning projectiles from the shocking turrets.
Oh no. I'm going to die 100 times in the first minute in this game. In this part.
Another requires you to escort the stone idol through the level as elevators full of monsters descend to attack you. Should you be able to get
Wow,
through the
look
first
at that,
3
look at that.
chambers, you will face your first boss.
Boss.
The order of the bosses is random, and combined with the tribulations you have selected...
I'll never want to look at birds again.
So how about we talk about that now? Instead of having Acts 4 to 6 in early access, we could concentrate on endgame and make that great. For new players, a 25-hour campaign is already a huge game with lots of content. But for existing action RPG players, what you mostly care about is all the endgame challenges to overcome.
This is actually pretty good.
Months ago, we switched the entire development team's focus over to making endgame content.
Now, we are not going to spoil the plot too much here, but corruption from the beast has blighted the land, and your objective is to help fight
Look at that map, it looks
in
awesome.
the center of the atlas, you will find the ziggurat.
Wow.
A temple in which the monster packs you will face in each map are totally random, and the combination of them can lead to some very interesting combat situations.
This looks fun.
There are over
This is fun.
400 monster types in early access, and they have a lot of varied and interesting abilities. If you die, then the map can no longer be run, and you will have to find another way around to get to the areas behind it.
Never be run or get another map? But what happens if you fail the map? I'm really nervous that it permanently gets rid of it. It can't be permanent. You must get another stone, right?
For example, we could use this one on some boots to ensure a
I am excited to try this game, guys. Look how good it looks.
This tree allows you to juice the danger and reward.
Oh, look at the beautiful tree now.
The
They'll complicate that over time.
As you explore the in-game world map,
I
you'll
love this
notice
map.
various different biomes and invite various NPCs to join you there to create your own personal base of operations.
Look at that, that looks awesome. Still so many enemies on screen.
You will be rewarded with special points for the boss hunting section of the Atlas skill tree.
That's only a small section of the Atlas tree.
We are adding specialized trees in order to make it so you don't feel the need to respec your points when you change between different types of content.
Hallelujah.
7 of these by the end of this presentation.
Good, you don't need to change your Atlas trees all the time. Respect.
And otherworldly monstrosities that lie in
So
wait
Breach is in.
other planes. In this case, you could create a ring with around 170 life. Breach rings can
What?
become some of the strongest rings in the game, giving you
Really?
some good motivation to face the demon hordes.
You have died. I'll be seeing that screen all the time. All the time.
You'll be fighting a truly imposing number of foes, but will have a significant amount of tribute to spend.
Man, my GPU and CPU is going to explode. Delirium. There goes my CPU. I love that some of the same stuff's there. Some familiarity.
Everything you kill will increase the rewards that drop. However,
Whoa,
the deeper
look at those
into the mist you
skills.
travel, the
Monk.
stronger the monsters are. Be careful not to overstay your
Monk
welcome.
looked awesome there. Did you see that movement?
Enemies will become distilled emotions.
Wow.
By combining these emotions, you are able to instill your amulet with a notable from the passive skill tree.
Is
This
this
like gaining used to
oils?
further
Yes.
improve
Thanks, my
in
oils.
Expedition.
I like Expedition.
Rog, Tujin, and Gwenin will exchange the artifacts for
Oh,
useful
nice.
items. There are also unique jewels available with very interesting effects, but you will have to find those for yourself.
Well, at least they still have passives in radius.
You can complete the entire trial overcoming all 4 floors. The final boss will reward you with one of many unique relics. These relics will be consumed when used on your next run, but can reward you with unique and powerful items. For example, this is the Last Flame. If you use it, you will have only 1 honor for the entire trial, so you will need to do a completely hitless run.
Hitless
Chaos
run?
also extends into the endgame.
Oh my
As you
god.
gain inscribed ultimatums of higher and higher
No.
levels, the number of cheddar new
Corrupted.
powerful
Look how cool the
enchantments,
Val Orb
or
looks.
it might
I
reroll
love the
up to half
face.
of its modifiers. Val Orbs also have the ability to add a socket, allowing you to bypass the
Ooh.
normal restriction of how many sockets an item can have.
There's sockets on items?
You have
What?
3 sockets this way, allowing for a significant number of mods.
What?
Val Orbs can even modify uniques. Adding enchantments or sockets to uniques can make them incredibly powerful. but there
Wow,
is a
there's
good
going to be
chance
some
that
valuable
you'll break
uniques
them
out
as
there,
well.
guys.
The Trial
love
Master
that.
will also occasionally offer you soul cores.
PoE should never take away crazy rare items.
We aren't going to spoil it as we
I'm not
can't
gonna be
wait to
very
see
good
you
at this
guys
game.
attempt it for the first time. But is there a tree you get pointed?
The offspring of a vicious crowbar boss found in the hunting
I
grounds.
want to be that character.
This one doesn't look so vicious though.
Forget about your pet. Let me be that.
If you want to truly show your worth as a king of the Faradin, then you
Wow.
definitely need your trusty, moving, entire city fortress known as the Dreadnought to travel across the Vasteri Plains.
I love this. It's like Dune slash
Exile,
Mad
you
Max.
Decorate your hideout however you like, and it's no exception here.
If they master the end game, no one will touch this game. Not Last Epoch, not nothing.
Cracking that out for beta even.
Because that's Last Epoch's issue.
Well, as I said, I just think it would not have landed
Not enough endgame content.
without that, and I think it's important that our
These guys are good, huh?
community feels like
The genre and
Yeah, they're going to make fun games. You can tell. They know what they're doing.
yeah, certainly, as you said, competing with ourselves, yes.